In this first version, my opponent tries to posture up by jamming his elbow and forearm into my throat. So I simply drag his arm across his center line, open up my guard, adjust my hips, and I'm on his back. Again, in each one of these versions, you have to have their posture broken down, and you're just doing different variations of an arm drag based on where they put their hands. This one's probably the easiest, where his elbow is already close to your face. So I'm holding on my gable grip, and then I'll push his tricep past his center line as I scoot my hips outwards. I push it with my left hand here, and then I keep my head nice and tight next to his arm. That way he can't get his arm back. Right now I get my gable grip again. Of course, there's a side choke here, but my intention is to get to the back. I don't let go of this gable grip as I adjust my hooks. Keep scooting your hips outwards until your right leg becomes the bottom hook. I'll also grab his lat here for an additional handhold, and then I drag him downwards into my hooks. You can also grab the hip, but I have little T-Rex arms, so that's as far as I can reach. And then once there, hooks come in, and then get your appropriate seatbelt. This second version, your opponent tries to posture up by shoving your face. Of course, the armbar is here, but again, the theme of this series is getting to the back. So, same concept as before, just a little easier because his arm's already straight and halfway across to his center line. So as you can see here, he's trying to posture up by pushing towards my face. I simply shove his tricep past his center line, adjust my hips outwards, and I stay real tight to his arm with my head until I'm able to reach for his lat. Once here, I just keep adjusting my hips. They may or may not fall into your bottom hook, but if not, keep moving your hips outwards to get your bottom and top hooks in. In this third variation, our opponent keeps his hands tight to your hips, but his elbows are flared out, in which case you're using an underhook and ratchet motion under his elbow to drag that arm across. Again, similar to the first two, but the main difference is getting that elbow across the body using your gable grip and underhook action. So here, my opponent's hands are nice and tight to my hips. His elbows are clamping my hips down. Now I get an underhook near the end of his elbow, not too close to his armpit, but not too far on his elbow where it'll slip out. There's a nice spot right in between. Now from there, I'm going to get my gable grip back and use my underhook and ratcheting motion to get his elbow and arm straight across his center line. I'll still also use my legs to hip escape outwards. So not only am I dragging his arm across with my left underhook, I'm also moving myself at the same time. So as you use that underhook, you'll notice that his arm goes in the first two positions, the elbow in the throat, then the arm in the throat. And then I'm just staying tight to the arm as I have been. reaching for that far lat, and then adjusting your hooks so you're centered on his back. In this fourth version, your opponent does a good job of trying to posture up by putting his hands on your biceps. But same concept as before. You want to drag the arm across, stay tight to his arm, adjust your hips, and square yourself on his back. So here my opponent has bicep control, but I use a cross grip on his wrist and then 2-on-1 on his elbow. I use my 2-on-1 to drag his arm across, and then I get an overhook on his head, keeping him nice and tight with my overhook and my head, and now my opposite arm coming in for the gable grip. Once I have that established and he can't pull his arm out, same thing. Open your guard, post your feet on the ground, and hip escape outwards till you are squared on his back. The biggest thing is holding on to that gable grip. They're going to fight like mad to drive their elbow back inside, but if you stay tight with your head pressure, your grip, and hip out at the same time, you'll beat them each time.